Good evening everyone, this is Richard Faulkner for Forex Investments. This is the weekly review for Sunday the 8th of May 2016. Okay, let's get straight into it. Last week we mentioned buying usdcad and usdjpy. So usdcad, I think we had a fairly spectacular week on usdcad. We didn't buy down at the bottom, but we were buying all week. So we ran for 480 pips, which was pretty good. And usdjpy not quite as good, but that ran for 186 pips, 200 pips, let's call it. And then obviously always buying usdjpy. We did mention in the previous review that we could come down to this level here from the weekly. I think we just ran 30 odd pips short of it, and then moved off. But nonetheless, pretty good week all in all. So let's just jump straight into this week. We'll start with pound yen. This is going to be the big one for this week. This is the one we're concentrating on the most. So what we're looking at is a trend line break here. We're coming off a reasonable fib level on the weekly. So if I just show you the weekly, if we take a fib from the lows up to the highs, we're at the 50% fib. Obviously with this trend line break is fairly bullish, as it doesn't translate down to the 1 hour unfortunately, so we'll just get rid of that. And now we're looking at a retracement here. Now we've actually bought this market. We've only bought it small, but that's where we bought it, and that's our entry. And that was about half an hour after NFP. So that's our entry. This is just a short-term target. 160 pips away. We're up 84. But I'll show you why I bought this. So previously, last week we sort of touched on the theory of market makers setting up base camp and then sending out feelers, collecting stops, finding what's going on the market. Well, you can see here, this here is our base camp, this double bottom here. So obviously below double bottoms, stops are created. If you look at this bar here, this bar is a 1 hour bar which moved 130 pips in 1 hour, and I think it moved the last 86 in about 5 minutes. And that was just a huge amount of buying that came into the market here. Obviously then we retraced, created more stops, a bit more buying. We bought the market down here just on these stops, took some nice profit there, and then obviously we bought the market down here. Now this, if we pop out to the daily, I mean it's just keep it simple. Look for these base camps, look for what the market makers are doing, and then look to trade accordingly. But the reason we bought this level with confidence, albeit only a small size, on NFP day when the market's getting hammered, is we saw the price action coming down into this 78.6 fib level. Now we're expecting this market bullish because the trend line's being broken, so you're buying retracements. Now if you just buy the market willy-nilly, you're going to get hammered. I mean, look at that, that's a 700 pip move after the trend line was broken. You can't just go into the market and buy these markets thinking, well, you know, I can just ride it out because the trend line's being broken. You can't. That's wrong. What you want to be looking for is what we were talking about last week. The video's on our Facebook page if you want to go and have a look at it. It's on our YouTube page as well, Forex Investments. You need to be looking for these base camps. You need to be looking for this buying coming into the market, This is what's telling you the big boys are involved. This is what's telling you you want to be looking long this market. Nothing else really. You don't want to be buying this market when it's falling like this. You're just going to get absolutely hammered. There's no significant buying coming into the market here. So this particular point here, this is when your ears start to pick up and you go, hang on a second, we've just had a market shift, and someone has just bought the market and they've bought it big. Doesn't mean the market's going to reverse off this point here. In fact, it's going to be a process because they need to put positions into the market in order to build their full size and move the market. So this takes time, and obviously after this particular point, we're at 1, 2, 3 days. What do they do to fill their final positions? Well, they use the news, and there's no greater point than NFP to drive the market down, collect the stops, and then whip it away very, very quickly. I mean, this here is a 108 pip move, and this level here is your stops. So anyone who's gone short here is now trapped down below here. So while everyone is panicking, thinking they're missing the trade on these bars driving down here, we're buying the market down at this level. I mean, this is a big move. It takes a bit of practice to be able to buy the market like this. And you definitely don't want to be buying. If I'll just drop you down to the 1 minute, you don't want to be buying on any of these red bars here. It's very simple. We just saw buying coming into the market. You saw buying coming into the market in a buy zone. Just buy it. It's doesn't get any more difficult than that. And that's 89 pips. We're still in the trade. We've got a really big target on this anyway. So that was our starter position. As far as trades are concerned, this coming week and getting into something, well, I don't actually have an entry, and that's why we've got a starter position. For your own psychology, the best thing you can do is get a starter position. At least you get a feel for the market, and then if the market does run off without you, you're not panicking and buying the market up here, thinking the market's going to run away without you, only to find out it pops back down, stops you out, and then moves up. It's just about keeping your psychology good, keeping your psychology levels strong, and not going in the market exceptionally heavy, even if you believe the market's going to reverse, because ultimately you don't know. You just don't know. So it's we had a signal, we had the volume, we were watching volume, saw buying coming into the market, starter position, great. Where are we going to buy next? Well, like I say, we haven't actually got an entry. We're going to have to wait for Monday, wait for price action Monday, wait for price action Tuesday to play out. We've got everything else in place. We've got the base camp, we've got the stop hunts, we've got the fib levels, we've got the trend line break. It's all ready to go. All we need now is an entry. What I do know for certain is there are stops down here and there are stops down here. Are they going to want to repeat this level after they've trapped all that volume down here? My thoughts are probably not. If they do come down, they're probably going to break this level here, and then we're going to see a move up. So, providing you get your entry criteria, and obviously we teach, we have a very set specific entry criteria in order to get trades like this as opposed to trades up here. Providing you get an entry criteria, just watch your volume, see what's going on, and you get something happening down in this level to, let's just extend it down to this level and slightly below, then great. Buy. This is a buy and hold for the rest of the week. And then basically what we're going to be doing is just looking to buy any retracements on higher time frames. So market will come up, obviously plateau, hopefully stop hunts, and move up, and then market will plateau, stop hunt, and then move up. And we're just going to buy. We're just going to buy each stop hunt, building a bigger and bigger position. Targets for this one are going to be, well, I mean, where's your first level of stops? Well, there's your first level. So that is a, call it 480 pip move there. And then obviously ultimately you've got a very nice set of stops up here. So that is it's around about 1,000 pip move. Is it going to happen in a week? Probably not, but that is what we're planning on, and that's what we're looking at for this coming week. And this is going to be this is going to be the thing that we're going to be concentrating on this week. But I will run you through some other pairs, just in case. We'll go back to this pound yen. If this pound yen doesn't work, and we are looking at the market rolling over and going lower, which we're not expecting, then obviously we need some other trade ideas. If we get a close and a hold below this low here, Friday's low, then the trade's off. Certainly bear that in mind. But any stop hunts and move back up, and we're going to be looking for this level here. Is 158, call it 158.60. Target 1, and then target 2. Best part of 1,000 pips, 162.83. If we break this level and hold above here, we're going to see this quickly. So that's another thing to bear in mind. So don't just sell when you get to this level. If you see it, obviously it's going to gyrate. There's going to be a bit of accumulation, distribution, whatever you want to call it. If it's holding, then we're going up to this level, and very, very quickly. So just bear that in mind. Right, moving on. Pound USD. Okay, so what happened with the pound USD? Well, we had a nice move up here. Then we had stops taken here. And where did we have stops taken? Where was the target, and where did we go to? Well, the next target was the next bunch of stops, which was here. You see, we've taken these stops, and now we're moving back in towards the middle. So roughly, the middle price is roughly around about here. This is where we're actually expecting to see the market bounce and continue higher. Bear in mind, we've got the referendum, so just keep your eye on what's going to happen. It's looking unlikely that the UK is going to leave. The pollsters do get it wrong, and obviously things are going to ramp up, and the market's going to get more volatile the closer we get towards the main voting day. But just bear in mind, this is what we're thinking is going to happen. So we're going to have a return to somewhere in the middle, which would be the 61.8 fib, coming in at 4309. I've got 4282. And the reason being 4282 is that's where the stops are. So very simple, obviously look for this area, look for your entry criteria, and then look for the market to move up. The other level we do have, which we are going to be looking to trade, is this level here. So it's a 4387, 4396. It's an 11 pip range, and it is this level here. If we hit this level and bounce, we're possibly going to see something like this. And that's what we're going to be looking at next week for the pound USD. So 4282 is for the big move, 4387, 4396 is going to be for a smaller retracement, move down, and then for the bigger move. So that's pound USD. Euro USD So to be honest, Euro USD looks pretty bearish to me. Reason being is, take this over here, put that there. Okay, so 78.6 again, one of my favorite fibs. Came off, bounced off it, created stops. We've also got stops above this level here. NFP day, we had a retest of this level here. We've had a significant stop hunt above here. I mean, it's about 160, 130, 160 pip move, and then a quick move back down below these stops here. NFP day, we came and retested this. So if you're looking for a level, it's trade off. Stops are going to be above this big pin here. There's also a nice sort of move down where selling came into the market from the big boys, obviously. So selling was there once, selling's probably going to be there again. There's also stops above there, and that is the 1486 level. So we're going to be looking to short the Euro USD at the 1486 level next week. USD JPY. USDJPY. Okay, so I mean, again, obviously we're coming off the 78.6 weekly. We are in an uptrend on the USDJPY. However, we have been downtrending and making lower lows and lower highs in this particular level. I've got the 106.23 level marked here on the, and this is the only trade I can come up with on this. We only want to be looking long USDJPY, and it will. It would certainly help matters with regards to the pound yen, and with the pound. Obviously, the pound USD will help the pound yen as well if we do come off those earlier levels. But obviously, stops below there, back down into the 78.6, and that is the 106.23 level. So we're going to be looking for longs in this area here for a continuation move up. And finally, USDcad. Well, we're still in a downtrend. That's definitely downtrend on the daily, uptrend on the weekly. I mean, this is obviously why we called the weekly on here. 78.6 coming into a nice level, and it worked out. I mean, it's simple. It's really simple stuff. That's why, and that's obviously why we've had such a nice reaction. Couple that with the retracement in oil, which we also posted a article on our Facebook page, expecting a return to $30, and it was almost like the perfect storm. We're coming into trend line resistance, nip down to the daily, bring out some fibs. So we've got fib from the high to the low. We're on to 61.8 into a trend line. We're going to break this inner trend line here, and we're moving up higher. I'm reluctant to sell this, and I don't have an entry. However, I'm also reluctant to buy it up at these levels here. So USDCAD is going to be a question of just wait and see. Higher up, I do like this level for shorts above here. And we're going to want to see. We're going to want to come back down because we've had such a strong lift without any retracement. We are going to have to see a retracement sometime soon. Whether we get down into this level this week, I probably doubt it. The short's probably going to be on up at this level here. Again, with some trepidation, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the oil market, seeing what's happening there. If oil's getting hammered, I'm not going to be shorting this market. But let's just see how it plays out. You do want some levels. Let's see if we can find any on the 1 hour. Okay. That's going to be the trade for me. So 2668. 2668 is going to be our buy, providing we get our entry criteria. Then we're going to be looking to buy the market down at this particular level. Okay, that's great. So that's me done for Forex investments. We do have a live trade room. We do call trades every day in the market live. If you're interested, visit our Facebook page. I haven't got it up here, but it is very quickly Forex investments on Facebook. This probably isn't going to load in time, so I won't bother with it. But it's Forex investments. You can get a 2-day free trial. Signals are posted via WhatsApp, and just, you know, you got nothing to lose. We don't ask for credit cards or anything like that. Just come and give us a trial. If you like us, you like us. If you don't, you don't. We're making about 300, 400 pips a week, usually 10, 20 pips stop. If this is your sort of trading, by all means, come and get a free trial. Okay, thank you very much.